time. Okay, there we go. All right. I'm going to skip to a story about an individual by the name of Johnny. And the name of this story is Johnny the Bagger, B-A-G-G-E-R. Johnny worked at a grocery store. His job was to bag groceries. Now, Barbara, the co-author, had a business meeting with everybody who was an employee of this store, and she challenged them to leave their fingerprint. In other words, let me share a quote from here. I promise that we'll find it. There are lots of ways you can give your own personal signature to your work. For example, I know a baggage attendant who decided that his personal signature would be to collect all the luggage tags that fell off customer suitcases. In the past, those tags had been simply tossed into the garbage. This attendant decided that in his free time, he would send the tags back to the owners with a note saying, "Thank you for flying with us." Pretty cool, right? So she challenged the employees of this store to do something similar, to leave their signature. Now, Johnny responded. First of all, let me go backwards again. I received a call from a frontline customer contact person, a 19-year-old bagger named Johnny. The caller, who proudly informed me that he was a Down syndrome youngster, told me his story. Barbara, I liked what you talked about, Johnny said excitedly, but I don't think I could do anything special for our customers. How does that make you feel? Not good, right? No. Doesn't make me feel good either. Yeah. You know, side note, whenever I'm talking to you about customer service and making a difference in the world, do I have customers?
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
And who are my customers? You guys. Everybody who's a part of Keller Williams Coral Springs. Everybody who's a part of Keller Williams are my customers. After all, I'm just a bagger. Then I had an idea. He decided that every night when he came home from work, he would find a thought for the day. If I can't find a saying I like, Johnny said proudly, I think one up. That's pretty cool. When Johnny had a good saying, his dad helped him enter his thought for the day 6 times on a page in the computer. Every night, they printed out 50 pages. Johnny cut out each quote and signed his name on the back of them. Then I put them in a paper bag I keep beside me at work. He continued, when I finish bagging someone's groceries, I put my thought for the day in their bag and say, thank you for shopping with us. It touched me to think that this young man with a job that most people would say is not important. Every job is important. Every job. How often do we thank people who do things to serve us who go unnoticed? Had made it important by creating precious memories for all his customers. It touched me to think this young man with a job that most people would say is not important had made it important by creating precious memories for all of his customers. A month later, the store manager called me. He said, Barbara, you won't believe what happened today. When I was making my rounds and got up front where the cashiers are, I found that the line at Johnny's checkout was 3 times longer than anyone else's. It went all the way down the frozen food aisle. I was concerned, so I announced, get more cashiers out here, get more lanes open, all the while trying to get people to change lanes, but no one would move. They all said, nope, it's okay. We want to be in Johnny's lane. We want his thought for the day. The store manager continued, "It was a joy to watch Johnny delight the customers. I got a lump in my throat when one woman came up and grabbed my hand and said, 'I used to shop at your store only once a week. But now I come in every time I go by because I want to get Johnny's thought for the day.' I imagine that helps the bottom line," I said to the manager. "You bet," he replied. Who do you think is the most important person in our whole store now? Johnny, of course. This young man went from feeling that he didn't have anything to offer. After all, his job was not important, to being the most important person in the store. A few months later, the store manager called me again. "Barbara," he said, "Johnny has transformed our store. Now when the floral department has a broken flower or an unused corsage, they go out on the floor and find an elderly woman or a little girl and pin it on them." One of our butchers loves Snoopy. He bought thousands of Snoopy stickers, and each time he wraps a piece of meat, he puts a sticker on it. All of our cashiers now have their own personal signature. Everyone's having a lot of fun creating memories. Our customers are talking about us in a good way, coming back and bringing their friends. What a wonderful spirit of service spread throughout that store, all because of one young man with Down syndrome who decided he could make a difference. As I tell my audiences, every one of us in this room can make a difference. We can all be a Johnny. What do you guys think? True story, by the way, not made up. Talk to me. Okay, don't.
No, I said awesome. The
Yeah.
reality is when we think about, what's the best way to put it? When we think we don't make a difference in someone's life, the simple kindness that we show may have made that person's day for just a life change.
Yeah.
A simple kindness, just to say, you look nice today. People don't realize what the little things are that just help lift their spirits.
Yeah.
And he did that just by a simple note in the bag.
Yeah. I was in the audience when Ken Blanchard was sharing this story. It was at a Keller Williams event, right? And I've told you guys before, whenever you have an opportunity to go to training, if somebody says, "Hey, by the way, registration is open for family reunion. It's in February. It's in Orlando. It's driving distance." By the way, true story. Everything I just said, it's fact. It is open. It is in Orlando. It is driving distance. If somebody says, "You should go," you should go. Figure out a way. And the reason is because you don't know which ones are going to change your lives. If you did, you'd only go to those. And when Ken Blanchard was sharing this story, he shared that when he travels and speaks to different businesses on Be Johnny, one of the organizations he spoke to was the San Diego Padres, the organization, the employees who work the ballpark in San Diego. And every day they show up for a home game, they have a motto, which is Be Johnny. And just like we have team meetings, all the employees, and you can imagine a ballpark that seats 40, 50,000 people, probably has a lot of employees, right? Hundreds. And they have meetings before the game, and they always end every meeting with find someone and be Johnny for them. So a lady came up to the concession stand and she was ordering food and drinks, and she had brought her baby to the ball game. Side conversation. And she realized they didn't bring milk, and she was asking the person at the concession stand, do you have milk? He said, no, we don't. He said, but if you'll tell me where you're sitting, I'll find out if I can, I'll look and see if I can find some and I'll bring it to your seat. So he left, got in his car, drove to the convenience store, bought milk, came back to the ballpark and delivered the milk to her seat. Do you think that made an impact on that customer? Person sitting in those stands watching that game, they're a customer of the San Diego Padres, yes or yes? Yeah. And is that an experience that that person will remember? If they have an opportunity to share that story with other people, do you think they will?
Yes.
100%. And how can you do that? Where do you have an opportunity to do that in your life, in your business? One of the books that I asked you to read is For by Jeff Henderson. And the idea behind this book is be for your customers. We live in a world that is very much against. Go on social media. You'll see. And in a world where everybody is more than willing to tell you what they're against, be for people, before your customers, before your family, before the person who is standing in front of you. Now, when you are, you're going to make a difference. They're going to remember you. Ken Blanchard wrote another book called Raving Fans. And the idea behind Raving Fans is your customers become fans of you. And they become your secret, not silent, your secret free sales force out in the community telling everyone, if you're going to buy a home, talk to Diane Schuster. She's the best. Don't work with anybody else but Diane. She's amazing. One of the things that I used to say to my customers when they were hiring me to sell their home was they shared their goals with me, right? Because we do a needs analysis. What's one thing that needs to happen such that this experience would be a success? On a scale of 1 to 10, Trisha, 1 being not so great, 10 being awesome, what's one thing that needs to happen in the sale of your home that would cause you to consider the experience a 10? Script, write it down. Now, at the end of my presentation, I would share with them, is it okay if I share with you what my one goal is? And of course, what do you think they said? Yeah, John, tell us what your goal is. And my answer would be, Diane, my goal is that at the end of this experience, when we're sitting at the closing table, you will feel that I have met your goals, exceeded your expectations. You will be so happy with the service that I provided that you would never buy or sell another home without talking to me first. And if you knew of someone that was thinking of buying or selling a home, almost out of obligation to them, you would tell them, don't buy or sell a home without talking to John first. I'm going to have him give you a call. Now, leave you. If that's how you feel when we're sitting at the closing table, then I've met my goal, my one and only goal. Now, is my goal getting a commission check? Say no. Yes. Well, I mean, it's a byproduct of achieving my goal. It's really not to get a commission check. I'm telling you the truth. It's not to get a commission check. I never worked for money. Now, I did really well and I made money, but that was never my goal. All right, talk to me. What are you hearing? Great story about Johnny, right? Yeah. And what else are you hearing, Clarissa? I'm going to make you work. And because there's not as many of you here as there usually is, because I'm sure a lot of people are taking the week off for Thanksgiving, which is cool. That means those of you who are here are going to have to work extra hard. I want you to talk to me. Clarissa.
So it's all about service.
Service.
And, well, of course, it's all about service. Go to family reunion.
Yeah, okay. Go to family reunion.
No matter
Hello.
how pricey it is, but go to family reunion. And I think that price that it currently is ends on Friday and it goes up like $500.
So they changed that rule. That's not true anymore.
Oh, no.
The price is not going up.
Ooh, hallelujah.
So, yeah. Why do you think companies do that, by the way? Why do you think companies, there's a reason. Why do companies, because this is not just Keller Williams, they're selling a product or they're selling a service and they'll say the fee is blank until November 30th. After the 30th, it goes up to blank.
To do what?
Lower first.
I don't want to spend $500, so definitely I'm going to get in at a lower rate.
Yes.
To get more time.
Yes. Is there a risk involved for the company that is putting on this event? Does Keller Williams Realty International have risk in putting together family reunion in February? Yeah, they do. The cost is $11 million.
Jeez.
It's $11 million. All right. Now, at $1,000 a piece, how many agent partners would have to register for family reunion just for Keller Williams Realty International to break even?
11,000.
11,000. There it is. 11,000 just to break even, right? Okay, so it's not about that. That was a bunny trail. Here's the cost. The cost is $1,000. That's just to register. Now, you're going to drive, you're not going to fly. You could, but I'm guessing you're not going to. I'm guessing you're gonna drive. But let's just say you did fly and round trip ticket, $300. You're gonna stay in a hotel for 3 nights at $300 a night. We'll say that's another $1,000. You're gonna eat. I don't know how much you're gonna eat, but we'll just put $200 for that. And just for fun, we'll add an extra 500. Now, 13, 14, 16, $2,100.
That's not fun right there.
$2,100. Now, what's the return that we're looking for in order for this to be a good investment? I've talked to you guys for a year and a half on this. I hope that you know the answer. What's the return? 4 times. Thank you. So in order for this to pay off, I'm looking for $8,000.
Yeah.
What's your average commission, guys? Pretty much $8,000. So how many homes would you have to sell because you went to family reunion? How many additional deals would you have to do from what you learned at family reunion? One. How many years are you going to be in real estate? 1, 5 years, 10 years? I am still using information, knowledge from attending family reunion 20 years ago, 15 years ago. It's an investment in the future. It's not just an investment in the next 12 months. You're not going to erase your memory banks after a year and say, okay, I'm starting over. What I learned a year ago no longer matters. I have to learn it all over again. No, it's going to matter forever. And all you have to do is sell just one more home and you got your money back. So I'm attending family reunion, I don't know, 2008. I think it was in Atlanta. And I'm sitting in a Scripps class. I'm actually on the panel. So I'm up front. And somebody shared a price reduction strategy. Now, in 2008, we were in a market that was not like the market we're in today. It was a buyer's market. There was anywhere from 8 months of inventory to 3 years of inventory, depending on location and price. So price reductions were critically important if you were going to sell the property. On average, 1 out of 3 listings was selling. So for every 3 listings that were going on the MLS, you knew 2 would expire without selling. So price reductions were critically important. And the price strategy, the price reduction strategy that the person shared that day was 5% or 10% or not at all. And I used that for the next 7 years selling real estate. And I got price reductions, good price reductions that led to sales because that one thing that I learned in 2008. I can't tell you the hundreds of thousands of dollars that I learned from that one thing, but it was hundreds of thousands of dollars on a $2,000 investment. Worth it. So if you had a $500,000 listing, we're dropping the price by $25,000 minimum, or we're not dropping the price. A $5,000 price reduction does you no good in a buyer's market. You're still fishing with your bait out of water. You want to make a significant impact, you got to be in front of the market. You got to go where the market's going, because in that type of market, prices are doing this, and you got to get in front of that in order to sell. So that was a big bunny trail. Yes, go to family reunion.
No, where's it? Can I finish that?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That's right, Clarissa was on right there.
Sorry, you got me fired up.
And I am for the family reunion. I'm actually right now booking hotels.
Okay.
You're so fun. What are you saying?
Marriott, Fairfield Inn, $4,000 a night. I can really relate that to be there. Okay, so. Personal signature.
Hmm.
Your customer service, what's your signature? And how simplicity and gratitude can take an individual from insignificance to significance.
Mhm. Love that. Diane.
This conversation, the book, the Ken Blanchard book, has been around a long time.
Mhm.
And it was one of the very first books I read in business.
Mhm.
And I believe he quotes Nordstrom in there. There is a quote about Nordstrom. And it's not the same, Nordstrom's not the same, but the white glove service, and in every company, there's white glove service. It doesn't mean you put on white gloves. It just means that going the extra mile and doing the extra little thing that might mean the world to somebody that makes you stand out next to your competitors. And so as a realtor, I think it's just going the extra mile in making that extra phone call, and maybe not even talking about real estate, but like maybe talking about, hey, what are your plans for Thanksgiving? Finding out if they have a place to go. And if not, how do you make
Yes.
sure that, you know, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
That's the Ken Blanchard way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree 1,000%. You go from being the best in the world to the best for the world.
Right.
Yes, Trisha.
I think Johnny clearly changed his mindset.
Hmm. So Johnny had a breakthrough. Yeah, he did. Johnny changed the way he looked at things. Things he looked at changed. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and the conversation's not about Down syndrome. It's not. Although if you know anybody with Down syndrome, they're pretty amazing people.
They are,
They are.
they actually are.
Really amazing
are.
people. And where their giftedness is relationships. They're genius level when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
Absolutely genius. Speaking from personal experience. I have family member with Downs. Amazing individual. Absolutely amazing. Love this kid. Plays drums. And when different music groups are coming through the area where my family lives. They invite him to be a guest drummer at the event.
That's cool.
Well, it's cool, and it's a cool experience for him, but they sell more tickets because they do this. It's good for business too. He's a Johnny.
Wow.
All right, one more person in Zoom. You guys are being, well, nobody has their camera on, nobody's talking. This is, what is it called when you play a trick on somebody?
There you go. As always, I'm the dual career baby, so I'm at work. That's why the camera's not on.
I love that.
And
Thank
And
you,
it's Carolyn.
Carolyn. Thank you.
But I will tell you, even
That's
if they
it.
sell more tickets, the reality is they're honored to play with him.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys, I've got 9:33. We're taking a break from what has worked this week and just going to sign off with gratitude. I'm grateful for every one of you. Yes, we will be here again tomorrow, even though it seems as if a lot of our normal attendees, did I use that word right?
Yes.
Are taking the week off, which is amazing. You should be. And if all of you take the day off tomorrow, it'll be me in the Zoom, and I'll talk to myself for a half hour. And remember,
We'll be here.
we do not have Survive to Thrive on Thursday. It's Thanksgiving, and Friday is a shopping holiday. So just a heads up, tomorrow's our last call of the week, and then I will see everybody Monday. All right, everybody, make it a great day.